USClassicMuscleCars welcomes us to Supercar Saturday.
Please subscribe.
All right, straight back. You got about 2 feet? Right about there is great.
You had yours.
I've been about 4 years.
Where'd you get that?
Stop.
Hi, my name's John Walton, and this is my 2004 911 GT3. I've had the car for about 5 years, and it is for GT3, it's a high mileage car. It's got 54,000 miles on it. Usually they get a lot of owners, but very few miles. So this car is basically stock, except with the fact that, and I bought it from the original owner, the bumper has been changed to look like the GT3 RS bumper, which was only in this year sold in Europe. And it also has a slightly different front splitter. That's the front splitter from the Cup car, the GT3 Cup car. So, and that was also added on. Other than that, it's pretty much stock. The suspension is a KW Club Sport suspension, so it's lowered about 10 centimeters lower than what would be stock. It has been set up and corner balanced for track use, mild track use. It is still a street legal car, but it does have, if you look inside for some events, it does have the roll bar and also has the 5-point harness, which are necessary for some high-speed events.
Wow. Did you go to any high-speed events like these?
Yeah, it's this car, I've only driven at Road America. I've done other tracks, but this particular car, I have only driven at Road America. It's been out there several times, and it has it has an RS wing on it, but I usually run it with the stock wing. And the engine is basically unmodified, except for the fact that the coolant pipes have been pinned, and the engine had to come out to do all of that. So, you know, it has limited slips been rebuilt, clutch has been replaced, all of those kinds of things.
How did you decide on this car versus any other car in your?
Well, I've had several Porsches, and I've had 911s, I've had 944s. My first Porsche was a 914. My first car, though, was a Datsun, a 240Z, and I still own a 240Z. So that's a car I've kept for years and years and years. This car I bought, I had a 991, a 964, I'm sorry, a 964 Targa, and an 88 Turbo S 944.
Okay.
And I sold those two cars and bought this one, and then since I bought this, I've bought another. I bought another 964 Targa. I've always liked Porsches since I was a kid. I grew up across the street from a guy that raced a 356, and so the first time I really started getting into car culture, it was because back in the late 50s, early 60s, I knew a guy that was racing a 356 Porsche, and that was kind of my introduction to cars. So even though I've had other cars, this was kind of always what I lusted after.
So how does the car drive?
It's a very nice car to drive. It drives nice on the track. It is not an easy car to drive fast, but a fun car to drive fast.
And why is that? Why is it a hard car to drive fast?
Well, because the 996 GT3, the only real driver aid that it has is ABS. It doesn't have traction control, it doesn't have stability management, it doesn't have any of those things. And with the engine in the back, if you get this thing wrong and it starts to come around, it just comes around. So, but other than that, it is as traditional rear-wheel drive Porsches, and this is not an all-wheel drive car. It's a lot of fun to drive, but as I say, it's not an easy car to drive, and for street purposes, the track setup makes it a little bit difficult to take some places. So for example, you can't really drive it to the city because if you wanted to get into a parking garage, you'd never get up the apron.
Right.
And I mean, not that that's any different than a lot of other low cars out there.
And I bet at night this thing really pops out.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I always say when I back out of my driveway in the Fox Valley, the police in Chicago can probably see it. So, that's not really my personality, but I bought this car because I have a company and I wanted something to advertise the company. So, you want something that's, you're going to buy a billboard, you need something that stands out.
Right, there you go. And tell us about that company there.
Oh, Jackpoint Jackstands. I invented Jackpoint Jackstands. It is a jackstand that is designed to let you lift a unibody car on the factory lift point with a floor jack, and while the floor jack is still underneath the car, you put the jackstand in place, lower the floor jack, the car ends up resting on top of the jackstand, and you can remove the jack, so you can lift and put a jackstand on the same spot, as opposed to lifting the car in one place and having to find someplace else to put the jackstand.
Sure. And if people want to take a look at your product, where would they go?
JackpointJackstands.com.
There you go. And how's that been doing for you, Will?
Right now we're about 5 weeks oversold.
Oh, okay, there you go.
So that's, it's a nice thing to be popular, but
Sure.
we're
and it's neat when you have an invention that you know that it's going to come true, and it's something that will work.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Sure. Thanks for watching, and get out and drive. Have a good day.
We need you to subscribe.